Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Food Theory with Tejasvi Arabati. The idea behind food theory is to find out the origins and the etymologies and the stories behind those famous dishes which we are enjoying today, and to learn something for the near future so that we can implement in our day-to-day life. We learnt about Mulligatani in our first episode, Nihari in our second episode. So this is our third episode. In third episode, we are going to learn about a famous, very famous, my favorite, actually your favorite, actually everybody's favorite dish, biryani. So before I start about or talk about biryani, let's find out the theory behind cooking a biryani. Biryani, you just put the meat or vegetables in the bottom of the pan and put your half cooked or 50% done, 60% done rice on top, and then it forms layers of then 70% rice and 80% rice, and the topmost layer is mostly 90% or 95% done, and you close it with a lid and seal it with aluminum foil or a dough or anything. And then when it's cooked on a slow flame, the juices from the meat or vegetables creates a steam and cooks the rice which is on the top, and when you open it, the rice is perfectly done with the meat or vegetables perfectly cooked. This is the idea behind a biryani. So let's learn about the etymology of the biryani, the name of the biryani, how it got its name. Biryani comes from a famous word called Persian word called birinj, which means to cook or to fry. How did it come to India? How are we eating it? Let's find out. I think we have to thank the Arab traders who brought us the spices for pulao, the idea of pulao to India when they started invading India and invading all around the world. They were carrying spices and necessary dishes and necessary rice for them to eat their pulao, because pulao was very famous in Persia back then. So when they got it to India, they started serving it to people. The main idea of biryani was it was just a staff meal back then in the Nizami kitchens, and the basic idea of cooking that staff meal is to make a pulao and send it to them. But making a pulao in large quantities was hard back then. So what they used to do is they marinate the meat or vegetables overnight, and in the morning they just put the half done rice on top and send it to the borders, and then in the borders there will be another cook who will be managing all these staff meals. So he used to just put it on the coal for a slow flame for 1 to 2 hours while the troops are getting ready to eat, and as soon as they are ready, he just used to serve it with the meat and the rice together, and the guys used to mix it and eat it. It was as simple as that. So the idea behind biryani was to make a pulao. Now it has become a cooking method which is famous all around the world. So let's see how it changed and how did we got it, and what are the types of biryani, and how it is famous in India. There are two types of biryani, which is called pakki gosht ki biryani and kachi gosht ki biryani. Pakki gosht means cooked meat, and then the rice is half done, layered on top, close the lid and cooked on down. This is a pakki gosht ki biryani. And then in kachi gosht ki biryani, it's raw meat. It's basically a raw meat marinated overnight, then the rice is put on top and then closed and let it cook, and so that the juices from the rice juices from the meat cooks the rice. That's the idea behind it. To be honest, the Mughal dynasty was also making a biryani, and there was Awadhi cuisine which had a biryani, but their versions were pretty different. It's just they were using mild spices. When it comes to Hyderabad, we used to eat spicy because of the Andhra culture and the Telangana culture. So we used to put a lot of spices into it and make a spicy version of biryani. But let this be said, every state has its own version of biryani. Biryani, technically speaking, is just a simple rice dish which resembles pulao. So every state have their own kind of biryani, own type of biryani. So Tamil Nadu has biryani which is Ambur or Chettinad, and when it comes to Kolkata have their own spice mix of biryanis, and Mumbai has their own version of biryani. Delhi has its own version of biryani. Lucknow biryani is very famous all around the world. So every state has its own version of biryani. And now let's get into the tip part of the biryani. Tip number 1, while we are making a biryani, first of all, let me confirm that there is no solid rule that there has to be only meat in a biryani. Biryani can be of any style, any ingredient or anything. Biryani is just a simple cooking method. As I said again, it's a rice dish, and you can put your vegetables, you can put your eggs, you can put meat, you can put whatever you want, and it still becomes a biryani. There is no solid evidence or no solid rule that it has to be meaty dish. Hyderabadi biryani lost its geographical identity because of the same issue that we couldn't prove that the Hyderabadi or the biryani was originated in Hyderabad. So we can use any ingredient in a biryani and still call it a biryani. It's still a biryani. Let's come back to the tip. So the tip is for now, today, for the biryani is when you're making a biryani, please soak your rice a good 2 to 3 hours prior to boiling the rice. Number 2, when you're boiling the rice, make sure the water is at a rolling boil and make sure it is seasoned perfectly. It should taste like sea water, as salty as it can be. Because when you put the raw rice into it, starchy foods need to be cooked with seasoned water so that they absorb the seasoning, so that they are not bland while you're eating it. Same goes with potatoes, same goes with rice, same goes with pasta, same goes with noodles. So make sure you season your water heavily, and anyways you're going to drain that water, so you don't have to worry about excess seasoning or excess salt in your food. So drain that water, of course add your spices like cinnamon, dagad phool, shahi jeera and all that stuff. Put it in, drain the water. My personal favorite is to remove all the spices once they are boiled before you put your rice, so that this way when you're eating it, you don't have to bite into that large chunk of cinnamon stick. Third, make sure that you cook your biryani at a very low temperature, because nothing is worse than a burnt biryani. Make sure that you season it with nice amounts of fat like ghee or butter, because biryani is a heavy dish and you need to make sure that there is enough seasoning, enough flavorings to it, because a bland biryani is a bad biryani. That being said, thank you so much for your love towards the podcast. I will come back with another dish next week. Till then, like, comment, subscribe to M3 Media House. This is Tejasvi Arabati signing off.